Born Barbara Pierce in 1925, she grew up in the affluent suburb of Rye, New York, the daughter of the publisher of McCall's and Redbook magazines. In 1941, at a Christmas dance while on vacation, at just 16 years old, she met 17-year-old George Herbert Walker Bush. 2 years later, they became engaged before the young Navy pilot left to fight in the Second World War. When he returned in 1945, she dropped out of Smith College to marry him. The couple had 6 children, but lost their 3-year-old daughter Robin to leukemia.
You don't get over it. It's very hard to talk about her. But
I know, even now after all these years.
But it makes everybody more valuable.
The family made their home in Midland, Texas, where George Bush went to work in the oil business. They moved more than 24 times as he transitioned out of the private sector and into politics. Then in 1980, Ronald Reagan and George Bush won the White House, and the Bushes moved into the vice presidential mansion in Washington. George Bush went on to win the White House in 1988. Mrs. Bush held the Bible as her husband was sworn in as the nation's 41st president.
I, George Herbert Walker Bush, do solemnly swear.
As First Lady, she promoted reading, chairing the Barbara Bush Foundation for Family Literacy. Her sons Jeb and George W. followed in their father's political footsteps, becoming the governors of Florida and Texas.
I'm overawed by both Jeb and George, truthfully, running for public office, and I'm thrilled.
George W. Bush ran for the White House in 2000. Her son won the election, making Barbara Bush only the second woman in history to be both mother and wife to a U.S. president. The Bushes retired in Texas and spent much of their time at the Bush compound in Kennebunkport, Maine. Mrs. Bush, full of spunk and smiles, always kept her family close. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
Unbelievable story, certainly the matriarch of that family, and the fact that they were together for so long, such a strong bond.
Very much so. It was nice that she was home with her family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like she wanted to be.